Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here to review the brand new 2018 action science fiction film Battle Drone, or Battle of the Drones, or Hunted Battle of the Drones. So there's numerous titles for this movie. And essentially this is an action science fiction film that takes its influences from a number of places, including things like The Matrix, Robocop, The Expendables, a little bit of Predator here and there. And so it lacks a considerable amount of originality, this movie. However, what you do get with this movie is a very serviceable and at times fun action movie that is really quite enjoyable in a lot of ways. And this movie essentially is about a group of mercs who are hired by a gun runner to go to Russia, Chernobyl I think it is, to retrieve a weapons cache. They get there, they have some observers with them, and they actually learn very quickly that they have been set up, and there are these robots, drones as they're called, that turn up that essentially try and take out this elite team of mercs. And the reason why is these drones are trying to be sold to the highest bidder kind of thing, and they want to test them out on the best, and this team of mercs is considered to be one of the best out there. So if these drones do well against this team, then obviously there's going to be a bidding war for them. And that is the plot, that's the setup of this movie basically. It's this team of mercs in Chernobyl, in this warehouse place, trying to survive against these robotic drones. There's your movie in a nutshell. Now, this film has some strengths and some weaknesses, and there's no point ignoring the weaknesses, and because there are plentiful of them. Like I say, there's a distinct lack of unoriginality here. It's full of cliches. The team of mercs is exactly how you would imagine it. If you close your eyes, or if you wanted to write down your ideal team of mercs, these are the sort of people you choose. You know, you've got the big Russian guy who carries an M16, you've got the woman sniper, you've got the wisecracking British guy, you've got the psychopath, you've got the martial arts ninja dude, and the leader who, you know, walks around with flappy coats firing handguns. It's all very cliched. I mean, it's cringeworthy in regards to how cliched it is, this team of mercs. And the film does a pretty terrible job of fleshing out the characters. So when it all kicks off, when the fighting starts, you don't really particularly care that much who lives and dies. Because it doesn't do a great job of getting you to relate to any of these characters. There's a couple that get a little bit of a backstory and fleshed out a little bit, but it's the main characters really, nobody else. And there's this incessant slowdown throughout the movie that initially looks cool, but this director, it's almost like he's a child with a new toy and he's desperate to use it, this slowdown technology. It's almost every action scene, I might be wrong, but it feels like every action scene it's in slow-mo. And genuinely it does get on your nerves a little bit. About halfway through and beyond, you're just like, please try another trick in the book because I'm sick of slowdown here. But those are the main gripes and negatives of this movie. The positives are it's a simple plot. Sometimes that works well for movies. If movies overcomplicate things and they don't have the acting team on board, the writing team and the director, and they do a complex story, it fails usually massively. So it's a very simple plot. The action itself is good. The acting is of a good standard. There's nobody stands out as really bad, you know. It's not A-list in quality obviously, but it is pretty good. We've got Michael Parr here in this film, Parr, whatever you wanted to call him, a legend of the B-movie era of movies, and it's pretty fun to watch. The action is pretty much non-stop. You don't get much time to breathe. It does get a little bit tiresome because there is literally hardly any time to think. It's just action scene after action scene after action scene. It just continues along and you might get 1 or 2 minutes break while it cuts back to the studio where the pilots are of these drones and these generals and stuff that are watching. You might get a couple of minutes conversation there, or the team might stop for a couple of minutes and have a quick tactical conversation, and then boom, it's back at it again. And I have to say, these drones, they are worse shots than stormtroopers. I mean, whoever designed these drones really needed to work on the targeting systems a little bit better, because they were worse shots than a 10-year-old child. They were really bad. They couldn't hit a barn door, they were that bad. But the design of the drones were pretty cool. I think they were all digital effects, the drones. And generally speaking, they look pretty cool and pretty effective, but there were a couple of occasions where you could tell it was CGI, pretty obviously. But for a film with a budget like this, pretty impressive effects. And generally speaking, I think if you're an action fan, you're going to put this movie on and probably have a good time with it. You don't generally, people watch this kind of an action movie, don't expect masterpieces really. You just want to put it on, order your pizza, and then have a good time with it, and you'll get that with this movie. It's fun, I'm not going to deny it's fun, but it's got some really big flaws in it, and in this day and age, you can't really, these kind of flaws can't be ignored in a movie like this. But yeah, I had a good time watching this movie. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. Entertaining stuff, fun, good effects, good acting, but with some pretty damning flaws really. So yep, not a bad film to watch this, guys. So thanks for watching.